And we are live. Hello, one and all, and welcome to my review for the 2017 WWE Royal Rumble. The pay-per-view just ended less than an hour ago, and I'm going to give you my full thoughts and opinions on what took place live from the San Antonio Alamo Dome. So if you're coming on in, please leave your comments, any questions that you might have in the live chat. It's great to have you aboard for this live review. It's 11:30 currently here, Eastern Standard Time, and I have mixed reactions to this Royal Rumble. There was some good on this show, but then there was just some other moments where it just left my head scratching, and the ending, I still don't know how to feel about it. But my overall thoughts on this show, I still thought it was solid in its own right, but it certainly, to me, the level of hype that I had going into it, maybe it was my fault for being maybe a little bit too hyped, but I felt like the Rumble match itself could have been a lot better. I don't know. I thought it was okay, but to me, what I will remember most from this show will be John Cena versus AJ Styles tearing the house down. That match was fucking phenomenal, and I just have this to share. There will be live reactions. For the first time, I set up a camera and I did live reactions for both Cena versus Styles, so that'll be very fun, and the entire 2017 Royal Rumble match. So, guys, I will be uploading those videos within the next few days, so it'll be great to just watch my facial reactions, my over-the-top reactions to both of those matches, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you all for coming in, tuning into this live review. It'll be, like I said, leave your comments in the live chat. That's what it's all about. And let me know what you guys thought of the entire Royal Rumble card, particularly the pre-show. I did not watch the pre-show, but I'm just going to read the match results here. I couldn't watch, the 2-hour pre-show after, and then we got a 4-hour pay-per-view. To me, it was just too much. But I'll just briefly mention these results, and then we'll get into the main card for the 2017 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We had the 6 women's tag, which was originally scheduled for the main card, but was eventually moved to the pre-show. I was surprised to see that Becky, Naomi, and Nikki Bella were victorious. I thought for sure, it's Mickie James' first match back on the main roster. Maybe the heels would pick up the win, but no. Apparently, the babyfaces get the victory. And Mike, thanks for watching. Shout out to you. Just got your comment there. We had our second match of the evening. It was Sheamus and Cesaro defending our tag team championships against Anderson and Gallows. Apparently, we finally have new Raw tag team champions. Believe it or not, believe me, I'm just as shocked as you are. I did not see Anderson and Gallows winning the Raw tag team championships, but I think it was a move that was long overdue. I mean, these guys just lose every championship match they're in, and you hope eventually that they're going to get a win, and it looks like they finally did. And apparently Anderson rolled up Cesaro with a handful of tights to pick up the victory. So that was the second match on the pre-show. We then go to the third match of the evening. Nia Jax beat Sasha Banks in relatively short order. Nia beat Sasha in roughly 5 minutes, so not the longest of matches, but Nia was able to get the victory after she planted Sasha with a pop-up Samoan drop to pick up the victory. So with that, we also had an announcement that Stephanie McMahon, can't wait for this tomorrow on Raw, she's going to address Seth Rollins face-to-face. So get ready. Stephanie's going to be slapping the holy hell out of Seth Rollins. And then we move into the main show. We open up with the Raw Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Bayley. I thought it was a good, solid championship match. Nice opener here. Really like the fact that Charlotte was working over the leg of Bayley. I love that Bayley showed a resilience, her underdog nature. Crowd was behind Bayley. I thought these two just worked a really solid, it was a good match. I know these two definitely have better in them, and I wish this match would have, kept going. But there were some nice spots when it came to the moonsault that Charlotte attempted to hit on Bayley. I think Bayley was able to get the knees up on that attempt. Charlotte getting the figure 8 locked in. But the finish, to me, was really surprising. It came down to Charlotte. She hit natural selection on the ring barrier onto Bayley, which is the hardest part of the ring apron. And Charlotte remains undefeated. She is now 16-0 in singles matches on pay-per-view. I didn't see Bayley picking up the win here or the title. I still think you build down the line. I mean, I was originally saying WrestleMania, Bayley should win the title, but I think you could even hold off longer. Truly build up like you did on NXT to that moment, that Cinderella moment when Bayley finally win the Raw Women's Championship. I think you could hold off on that, if done correctly, long term till SummerSlam. But what did you guys think of Bayley versus Charlotte? I liked it. Like I said, just a solid match, a good opening match that set the tone for the show. So I had no problems with it. And like I said, I did not see Bayley walking out with the Raw Women's Championship. So no real surprise there, but Charlotte Flair is still the Women's Champion. Second match of the evening was, I was really surprised at the placement of this match being this early, but as we saw later on in the night, we know why this match was this early. Believe me, I'll get into that. And you can believe that. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in a no disqualification match for the Universal Championship. The stipulation is Chris Jericho will be locked in the cage of Jericho. You gotta lock it in, man. To be honest, I can't really tell you what happened too early on in this match. I did not really care going into it. But to their credit, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, they were able to get me into this match, even though it was a match that I had really no interest going into. But they were able to do enough to get me to actually say, you know what, this was a good match. Even though we've seen it time after time after time again on free TV, and it was a huge problem. And I just really wasn't excited for the build going into this match. But I have to say, these guys went in there, and it was a pretty hard-hitting physical affair with Reigns and, Owens. I think there was one spot where they had a pyramid of chairs on the outside, and Roman Reigns was able to send Kevin Owens through the pyramid of chairs. That was a nice spot. But the real surprise in this match, Owens also, we saw it coming. Jericho was going to slip him brass knucks. But, of course, that led to Roman Reigns kicking out of that, as you expected that he would. I mean, brass knucks aren't going to be enough to put down the guy. There was also a nice frog splash that Kevin Owens hit onto Roman Reigns on a table that was laid out on the outside. So there was some nice stuff in this match. And, of course, Jericho being in the cage, his antics, just fun watching Chris Jericho in a shark cage. I mean, come on, it doesn't get much better than that, people. But what really surprised me, and then at the end of the night, it left my head scratching. Kevin Owens retained his Universal Championship, which I did not see happening. I thought for sure they're dropping that title. That title is coming home to the big dog Roman Reigns. You just knew he was going to get his hands on that title. But no, surprisingly, Braun Strowman came in, chokeslammed Roman Reigns, dragged him around the ring, and hit a running power slam that sent Reigns through the table. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. Strowman interferes. That means at Mania we're going to get Reigns versus Braun Strowman. All right, that could be interesting without the title on the line. Okay. Yeah, I did not predict that Kevin Owens was going to win. And the fact that they changed it to a no disqualification match led me to think, maybe we'll see Samoa Joe or something. But it was Braun Strowman. So I was like, okay, let's see where this goes by the end of the night. Maybe Strowman will, be in the Royal. We know he was in the Rumble, but Reigns and maybe cost him a spot. We didn't get that. And we'll get into the Royal Rumble. Don't worry. I have a lot I want to say about the 2017 Royal Rumble match. But to the credit, to a match that I really had no interest in going into it, and to the fact that I was able to care and be invested by the end of it, I'll say it was a good match. But please, no more of Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. I have seen enough. Let's move these guys on. Let's move Kevin Owens on to Chris Jericho, because that's the next logical feud. That's what I'd like to see, Jericho and Owens. It should rightfully be battling over the Universal Championship, despite how piss poor Kevin Owens' reign as Universal Champion was and is. I still think his booking has just been horrendous. It's done him no favors. So let's talk about this third match of the evening, a match that, as I said on Twitter, I thought, potentially, if not steal the show, because I knew Styles and Cena were probably going to tear the house down, it could definitely be the second best match of the night. But to me, I was really not a fan of this match between Neville and Rich Swann. Crowd wasn't really too invested into it, and that's really what's been hurting the cruiserweights. The crowd just could not care less about this cruiserweight division, to be honest. And I really, I was trying to pay attention, trying to get invested. Neville, you think Neville and Rich Swann, you put them in there, they're going to tear the house down. But to me, the match was a little bit too slow of a pace. And the rest holds, it was just, to me, when I want to see, I think cruiserweight, I think high-flying, high-octane, balls to the walls action. Just let these guys go out there for at least 10 to 15 minutes and let them tell the compelling story that I know Neville and Rich Swann can. And I just feel like they were limited in that sense in this match. I was happy to see that Neville picked up the victory over Rich Swann. I predicted that Neville would get the win, and he did after he got Rich Swann trapped in the Iron Maiden, and Swann was forced to tap out. So we have a new cruiserweight champion. The right guy won, but to me, I just felt like the match was flat at times. Didn't really have that good of a flow, or several slow spots in it, just rest holds, and that's not what I want to see when I see cruiserweights. I just want to see, like I said, high octane, balls to the walls action. So definitely to me, this match was just probably my most disappointing on this show, because going into it, I thought could potentially steal the show. I just didn't think it came anywhere close. But I am happy that Neville became cruiserweight champion. Let's talk about the match of the night. Wow. Just wow. I'm blown away. AJ Styles versus John Cena. These guys, excuse me, their rivalry has been glorious. Their matches have been glorious. And tonight was glorious. Despite AJ losing and John Cena picking up his 16th World Championship, just the action from start to finish was amazing, phenomenal. Cena and Styles, they just have great chemistry. They just know each other so well, like the back of their hands. From the AAs to the phenomenal forearms to the near falls and the kickouts, to Cena displaying a new level of aggressiveness, which I thought, are we teasing a Cena heel turn here? Because he was really acting aggressive. And then Styles, likewise, in this match, was able to turn up his level of aggression to the amazing crowd. The crowd was totally into this. We were totally into this. You will see in my live reactions video. If you haven't seen it already, it's coming. Just as good as their SummerSlam match, if not even better. I don't know which match I enjoyed more, this one or SummerSlam. They were both equally as good. But they're definitely matches that I will go back and watch. And I was really rooting for AJ to get the win. But as Styles was attempting to go for the phenomenal forearm, Cena countered with the AA, followed that up with roll 2 into another attitude adjustment. So back-to-back AAs led Cena picking up his 16th championship. I thought Styles was going to retain, but up until this point, we had no title changes on this show. So that led me to believe that, okay, we're going into this match, and Cena's going to win. To me, at this point in the show, I thought, in the placement of the match right before the Rumble, I thought, okay, Cena's going to win. Cena's going to win his 16th World Championship, and he did just that. So John Cena has officially tied Ric Flair. It's in the history books. He is now a 16-time heavyweight champion heading into the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And we'll have to see what direction they go there, and obviously, as a result of the Royal Rumble, where things are headed on SmackDown Live. So let's talk about the 2017 Royal Rumble match. This year, eliminations were every 2 minutes as opposed to every 90 seconds. So, yeah. We started things off with Enzo and Big Cass. They cut a funny little promo about the Royal Rumble. Chris Jericho was at number 2. And I don't know. I liked what they did with Jericho tonight, with him kind of, being on the outskirts, the outside of the ring, and not really getting too involved in the match, but at times he would get back into the match. But yeah, Jericho came in at number 2. We then had Kalisto at number 3, Mojo Riley at number 4. I'll just go through these. Jack Gallagher at number 5, Mark Henry at number 6, Braun Strowman at number 7, who I thought had a good showing in this match. Sami Zayn at number 8, who I also thought had a good showing in this match. Big Show at 9, Ty Dillinger at 10. That was very nice to see. James Ellsworth at number 11, Dean Ambrose at number 12, Baron Corbin at number 13, Kofi Kingston 14, The Miz 15, Sheamus 16, Big E 17, Rusev 18, Cesaro 19, Xavier Woods, 20. Bray Wyatt, 21. Apollo Crews, 22. Randy Orton, 23. And Dolph Ziggler at 24. Luke Harper at 25. Brock Lesnar at 26. Enzo Amore, 27. Goldberg, 28. The Undertaker, 29. And Roman Reigns, number 30. So right off the bat, let's go to the beginning of this match. We had a nice opening back and forth sequence between Big Cass and Chris Jericho. Eventually, Kalisto, Mojo Rawley would come into the ring. Jack Gallagher with an umbrella came into the ring. That's the first time I've ever seen somebody enter a Royal Rumble with an umbrella. And when Jack Gallagher later got thrown out of the Royal Rumble, I thought, is he going to go flying up into the air with that umbrella? Because he landed and he was able to maintain complete control of the umbrella. So shout out to Jack Gallagher in this match. Mark Henry was in there. He was eventually thrown out by Braun Strowman. I think Braun Strowman in this match had 7 eliminations, 7 or 8. So I thought Braun had a good showing. Braun was actually eliminated by Baron Corbin. So that was surprising to see. Also thought Corbin had some nice moments in this match as well. Sami Zayn was in there, and apparently he didn't have any eliminations according to this. And yeah, Braun Strowman, looking here, he had 7. 7 eliminations. I also like the little face-off that they had between him and the Big Show. But to me, one thing that didn't make any sense was, okay, Strowman screwed Reigns out of the title. Then Reigns doesn't come down to cost Strowman a spot in the Rumble. I'm like, I thought that's what they were going to do. And that left my head scratching. I like seeing Ty Dillinger at 10. The perfect 10. That was nice to see. And going on, James Ellsworth, he got freaking annihilated by Braun Strowman. What more can you say? I called that happening. Dean Ambrose was in there. He was eventually, Brock Lesnar threw him out, so I'm sure Dean wasn't too happy about being eliminated by the Beast Incarnate. Kofi Kingston was in there. The Miz was eliminated by The Undertaker towards the end of the match. Sheamus came in, Big E, like I said, Rusev, Cesaro. Cesaro and Sheamus actually eliminated the entire New Day. So that was interesting. And then when Cesaro and Sheamus were eliminated, looks like they were going to come to blows. So I don't know what's going on with them. They, like I said, they lost the Raw Tag Team Championships. So we'll see what direction they're headed in with Cesaro and Sheamus. Bray Wyatt came in there. Eventually, Apollo Crews. He really didn't do too much in this match. Randy Orton. Dolph Ziggler was in there. He was hitting some super kicks all throughout the Royal Rumble. Luke Harper, then Brock Lesnar came in. He cleared house, but he was shortly, thereafter eliminated by Goldberg. So obviously, we're going to continue to see the feud escalate and continue on between Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Goldberg seems to just have Brock's number. He really threw out Brock in quick fashion in this match, but I thought for sure they were both going out. But no, Goldberg picked up and threw Brock out of the match only. And then we saw Goldberg and Undertaker have a face-off. I don't know. To me, did Undertaker not really look in the best of shape in this match? I don't know. He just seems slower. I don't know. It just seems like, well, he's getting up there. He is 51. But Undertaker will make his way down at number 29. And then the big qualm I know a lot of you out there had. One thing I had a problem with was no Samoa Joe. Finn Balor, okay. I was rooting for Balor. He was my pick to win the Royal Rumble. Obviously, that didn't happen. But, okay, he's not coming back yet from injury. But no Triple H to continue the feud between him and Rollins. And I know they'll do stuff tomorrow on Raw. Don't worry. I know they're going to do that. But I just felt like you could nicely continue the story, have another big angle between him and Triple H. Triple H enters the Rumble. And Rollins, banned from being in the Rumble. He comes down and eliminates Triple H. They have a nice pull-apart brawl. We didn't get that. So we'll have to see what they do tomorrow in that face-to-face Rollins and Stephanie tomorrow on Raw. But the Joe exclusion really left my head scratching. And when you'll see on my live reactions, you'll literally see my reaction to Roman Reigns coming out at number 30. So let me get this straight. Just going back a little, history. 3 years ago, they could not put Daniel Bryan in the 2014 Royal Rumble. Remember, he had a match earlier in the night. Couldn't do that, yet This guy is in a world championship match, and he loses, and then he goes into the Royal Rumble. So where was AJ Styles? He lost. Why doesn't he get in the Royal Rumble? And I guess he's owed a rematch, but whatever. But it left me scratching my head. I'm like, are you guys doing this on purpose? Do you want to make Reigns as the ultimate troll to the fans that just, boom? I don't get it. I mean, how could you be this blind? I mean, the crowd was chanting bullshit. And it's just like, and you wonder why this guy will not get, cheered. It's just like, you do something like this, it just made, I was worried. I didn't think they were going to do this, but they did. And then they had Reigns eliminate Taker. And it looks like we're getting Reigns and Taker. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that match. But the thing was, you're setting up Reigns and Taker, but what about Reigns and Strowman? Does anyone else see where's the logic? That's what I was really confused about. Where is the logic? To me, you're setting up Reigns and Strowman, right? Or am I wrong? And now we're teasing Reigns and Taker. What the hell? Or how are we going to sort this all out? And I don't know. And then it came down to Reigns, Orton, Wyatt. I was pulling for Bray. I really wanted to see Bray Wyatt. To me, I would have liked to have seen him win the Royal Rumble. But I think the rumors were Randy Orton was going to win, and Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. He eliminated Reigns and Bray Wyatt. So Randy Orton is a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. Now, I'll wait and see how it plays out. Not my ideal pick. Pray to God it's not Randy Orton and John Cena. If it's that match at WrestleMania, just kill me now. Kill me now, guys. But if we could get a heel turn out of Reigns with a feud with The Undertaker, okay. That would be interesting. But if you're going to try and push him as the babyface over The Undertaker, they ain't going to cheer that, and it's only going to get worse. So it didn't do Reigns any favors tonight. I mean, come on. You didn't learn from 2015. You knew the reaction that come on. You could not tell me that you didn't know he was going to get that reaction. So once again, it just shows how desperate and out of touch Vince McMahon truly, truly is. He really wants this guy to get over. But what he doesn't realize is if you would have turned him heel already, he had the monster heel run, he probably would have been over by now. I agree. If they're going to do Taker versus Reigns at Mania, Reigns needs to be the heel. I mean, come on. Reigns needs to be the heel. What more can you say? So Randy Orton wins the Royal Rumble. We'll see where they go with that. Just mixed bag when it comes to the Rumble. I thought overall it was a solid show, but the Rumble I was definitely disappointed in. The level of hype that I had going into it, to me, it left something to be desired in that number 30, Reigns being in it. Just, where was Joe? I felt Joe should have been that number 30 spot. Joe could have benefited. Reigns doesn't need to be in a Rumble. He had a championship match. Joe could have used that debut, and you show, the main roster crowd who really ain't familiar with him or his work in TNA or NXT, this is Joe. To have him go through a path of dominance, and they chose not to do that. So we'll see where they go on Raw and SmackDown. But guys, I am, as you can tell, really tired. I'm about to fall asleep. I want to say thank you all for tuning into my live Royal Rumble review. And remember, my grade for tonight's show, I'm giving it a solid B, but I thought it could have been better. Remember, guys, leave your comments down below for how you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like for the 2017 Royal Rumble. And I agree. I wish we had more surprises tonight. That was also a letdown. You had 8 open spots, and why would you have 8 open spots if it's just going to be guys like Mark Henry, no offense, Kalisto, Apollo Crews? But, yeah. So that's it, guys, for my Royal Rumble review. Thank you for watching. Remember to click that like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. Remember, my live reactions video for AJ Styles versus John Cena and the 2017 Royal Rumble match will be up here. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later on this week. So until then, have a great day. And it is a new day after all, so good morning and good night.